नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिने इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय, गोविंद जय जय गोपाल जय जय। राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय, राधा रमण हरि गोविंद जय जय। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। जय राधा गिरधारी राधे, जय राधा गिरधारी राधे। जय राधा बांके बिहारी राधे, जय राधा मदन मोहन राधे। जय राधा गोपीनाथ राधे। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी भव तुम्हें। जगन्नाथ स्वामी नयन पथगामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। निताई गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल। शिला प्रभुपाद की जय। निताई गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यशोदनंदन व्रज जनरंजन। यमुना तीरे वनचारी। यमुना तीरे वनचारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे हरे। हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। 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 नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयम् उदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीम् उत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। ओम अज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपः कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरु श्रीयुतपदकमलं श्रीगुरून् वैष्णवांश्च। श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितां तं सहजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधाकृष्णपादान् सहगना ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिनीति नामिने। नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। हे कृष्णा करुणा सिंधु दीनबंधु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकाकांत राधाकांत नमस्तुते। तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्ण। Welcome everyone in Bhagavad Gita class. So last time we have seen, revised the summary of chapter 1 to chapter 4. So today we will see chapter 5. In chapter 4 we have seen how Lord Krishna reveals the transcendental knowledge. So what is the conclusion? That Krishna commands Arjuna to destroy his doubts by spiritual knowledge. So Krishna has given Arjuna to divine knowledge, transcendental knowledge. So that knowledge works like as a weapon for Arjuna, and Arjuna has so many doubts inside his mind. So now Krishna is suggesting, oh Arjuna, whatever knowledge I have given you just now, what you can do, you can use this knowledge as a weapon and you can kill all your doubts, because these doubts are demon, and if you keep demon inside or near to you, they will kill you, they will destroy you. So before they destroy to you, you can kill them. Demons are not something which you can keep with you, near to you, close to you. Okay, so that's why Lord Krishna gave transcendental knowledge and ordered Arjuna, oh Arjuna, by this transcendental knowledge, now you can kill your doubts. Okay, so this was the chapter 4, and we have seen summary of chapter 4. Now we will see chapter 5. So as a synopsis point of view, we will see what is See now, what is the chapter 5 in there? In chapter 4, Lord Krishna reveals transcendental knowledge. The Lord telling Arjuna that all kind of sacrificial work culminates in knowledge. So whatever sacrifice you perform, whatever pious activities you perform, you get the transcendental knowledge. You get knowledge, such a knowledge that you can progress in devotional service. Lord Krishna is saying, Dadami buddhi yogam tam. The one who tries his best for devotional service to get transcendental knowledge, I give them chance to come with me, to come near to me, to come close to me, to come my abode. So the Lord is telling Arjuna that all kinds of sacrificial work culminates in knowledge. Krishna glorifies jnana and speaks of action in action and inaction in action. So Krishna also speaks about what is action in action and what is inaction in action. Okay, so what are the different do's and don'ts? So Krishna explains Arjuna all these action and inaction. Then Bhagavad Gita in 4.41, it is said, Krishna also, he glorifies jnana and renunciation. In Bhagavad Gita 4.41 sloka, chapter number 4, 41 sloka, Krishna also glorifies jnana and renunciation. What is jnana? What is renunciation? What is the actual meaning of renunciation? So what is the actual meaning of renunciation? When you give up the material things, when you give up the fruits of action, whatever activity you are performing in material life, that is jnana. That is the actual renunciation. Actual renunciation is not that you leave your house and go to forest and meditate over there. No. Actual meaning of renunciation is that you renunciate the fruits of action, fruits of your activity. Don't expect the fruits from action. Whatever fruits, whatever result you get from your activity, you just offer it to Krishna. Krishna will sanctify it and give it back to you. Krishna is not taking anything from you. Whatever there is dosha, there is contamination, it will be eliminated by Lord Krishna. Then in Bhagavad Gita 4.42, Lord Krishna says, armed with yoga, O Arjuna, stand and fight. So Krishna has given jnana and knowledge and renunciation. What is the meaning of renunciation? Explain to Arjuna. Now Krishna is saying, O Arjuna, armed with yoga. Yoga means attaching to Krishna. Yoga means attaching to Krishna. Stand and fight. So whatever activity you are going to do, you just concentrate on me. So, never ever sinful reaction will touch you. If you offer your fruits of action to me, if you are thinking about me when you are working, you are keeping me in center, no sinful reaction never ever will touch you. So what is Arjuna's understanding? Renunciation in knowledge involves cessation of all kinds of work performed as sense activities. Work and renunciation appears to be incompatible to Arjuna at this point of time. So Arjuna thinks that renunciation means going to forest, meditate over there. But this is not renunciation. This is not actual renunciation. Actual renunciation in work itself, fruits of action. So renunciation is not going away from work. Renunciation going away from the fruits of action. But Arjuna is understanding about that. Whether you work in the material life, then it is not renunciation. And renunciation means going to forest and meditating over there, chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, just sitting in forest, leaving everything, your family, responsibility, society, everything. When your society actually needs you, there are adharma everywhere, and you, being as a Kshatriya, you should give something society. You should improve the society. You should eliminate those who are contaminating the society. So when actually you are needed in the society, you want to leave the society just to go forest, and you are saying that this is a renunciation. This was the understanding of Arjuna. But actually this is not actual renunciation. So what is actual renunciation? Renunciation from the fruits of activity. Renunciation from the result of action. Okay, so that is the main difference between devotee and non-devotee. Devotee and non-devotee both are there in material life. But devotee has faith on Krishna. Devotee had surrendered fully unto the lotus feet of Krishna. And whatever activity he is performing, the result of fruits of action are offered to Krishna. So what happens? What is the result of this activity? No sinful reaction will touch you. Never ever. Understanding what Arjuna lacks, work in full knowledge. Devotional service is non-reactive and is therefore the same as inaction. Okay, so Arjuna, Lord Krishna has explained very carefully the difference between action in inaction and inaction in action. Okay, so what are the different do's and don'ts when you are performing activity? Then in chapter 5, that is Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness. So whatever activity you are performing, keep in center Krishna. Karma Yoga means attaching your karma to Krishna, concentrating on Krishna while doing activity, offering your results of action to Lord Krishna. That is Karma Yoga. So chapter 5 begins with Arjuna asking question, which is better, work in devotion or renunciation of work itself. So Krishna, Lord Arjuna is asking to Lord Krishna, what is better, work in devotion or renunciation of work? It is but obvious work in devotion is better. So Lord Krishna is explaining in the next verse what is the importance of work in devotion. So Lord Krishna explains in details the process of achieving liberation through process of Karma Yoga. Okay, so Lord Krishna is saying by performing Karma Yoga you can be liberated. So he explains very beautifully, Lord Krishna explains very beautifully how you can act in Karma Yoga. What is the objective of Karma Yoga? Okay, so by performing Karma Yoga you can be liberated. Okay, Niskama Karma is equal to but easier than renouncing work. Okay, so Niskama Karma means you don't expect any result from the karma, is equal to but easier than renouncing work. Okay, if you renounce work, it is very difficult. Renouncing work is very difficult. Whereas by performing Niskama Karma, it is easier, it is better than. So Niskama Karma is better or is equal to and easier than renouncing work. Okay. Niskama Karma perform activity in knowledge with detachment of fruits of work. So what is Niskama Karma? You can perform the same activity which are performed by the material people, those who are living fully absorbed in material life. So you are performing same activity, but they expect the fruits of action, those who are living in material life, but the one who is not detached don't expect any result from the action, don't expect the fruits of action. So that is the only difference, Niskama Karma and ordinary Karma Kanda. Okay, the people those who are performing ordinary Karma Kanda, so they are working for themselves, they will earn lot of money, they will enjoy, then they will go to theater, movie, Bollywood, Hollywood, Tollywood, so many places, club, so many places are there for them to enjoy. But those who are performing Niskama Karma, for them what is the place to enjoy? They will enjoy in the service of Krishna. They will fulfill the desire of Krishna. Instead of fulfilling their own desire, they will fulfill the desire of Krishna. The platform of knowledge, entanglement, knowing the three doers, the soul, material nature, and the super soul. So these are the three doers: soul, material nature, and the super soul. Okay, so if you don't know all these things, you will be entangled into the material hanger. You will be hankering behind the material life, material things. But if you know very well the difference between these three doers, the soul, material nature, and super soul, these three are the three doers. Okay, should understand the meaning of, you should understand the meaning of soul, material nature, and the super soul. Who is super soul? Super soul is Paramatma. What is soul? Soul is Atma. Material nature, Prakriti. So these three are the doers of all activity. Liberation through focusing one's consciousness on the super soul. So those who concentrate on super soul, because super soul is inside, Atma and Paramatma both resides in our heart. Okay, so we have to concentrate on Paramatma. Soul should concentrate on super soul. Okay, so liberation through focusing one's consciousness on the super soul. So if you are focusing on the super soul, you will be automatically relieved from the fruits of action. Liberation through Ashtanga Yoga. For by performing 8 yoga asanas, Ashtanga Yoga, that is called Ashtanga Yoga, you can be liberated. So any kind of sacrifice is for Krishna. If you are performing any kind of sacrifice, it is for Krishna. It is yoga. Yoga means what? Attaching to Krishna. If you are not performing any sacrifice, any yoga, you are not going to attach with Krishna. And if you are not going to attach with Krishna, you will be automatically attached to material life. You will be hankering behind the material things. Okay, there are so many, and you will never get peace in your life. Peace formula on the platform of liberation. So what is the peace formula? Performing service unto the lotus feet of Krishna. Chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, if you are performing devotional service, you will be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra 24 hours a day, 24 hours, 7 days, 365 in a year. So, that is the actual devotional service. And follow the 4 regulative principles. Follow the 4 regulative principles. No illicit sex, no intoxication, no gambling, no meat eating. So, they follow these 4 rules and regulations. Chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra regularly. 16 rounds. Prabhupada says, if you are chanting 16 rounds, I will be responsible for your liberation. I will bring you to the Krishna's abode one day. Other acharyas, however, have suggested more rounds, but Srila Prabhupada is so merciful about the devotees that he has taken guarantee of taking devotees to the abode of Lord Krishna. So Lord Krishna, Srila Prabhupada is so merciful. He is more merciful than Krishna also. So devotees are more merciful. So if you associate with devotees, there are 101% chances of liberation. Then in chapter 5 there are different sections. We have section A to F from 5.1 to 5.29. There are 29 slokas in chapter 5. So section A talks about 5.1 to 5.6. Niskama Karma is equal to but easier than renouncing work. So Srila Prabhupada is saying, Lord Krishna is explaining that Niskama Karma is easier than renouncing work. Okay, so we will try to understand what is Niskama Karma and what is the renouncing work. Then in section B, 5.7 to 5.12, the performance of Niskama Karma, working with detachment. What is Niskama Karma? Working with detachment. How you can perform. Then in section C, 5.13 to 5.16, the platform of knowledge, entanglement, knowing the three doers, the soul, material nature and the super soul. The three doers of the activity, the soul, material nature and super soul. Then in section D, talks about 5.17 to 5.26. Liberation through focusing one's consciousness on the super soul. Okay. So, one who concentrates on super soul will be liberated. Then section E, 5.27 to 5.28. Liberation through Ashtanga Yoga. Then talks about 5.27 to 5.28 about Ashtanga Yoga. Then 5.29, final sloka of chapter 5, peace formula on the platform of liberation. Okay, so what is the formula of peace? How you can get peace? How you can surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna and you can be liberated. So these are the different sections. Then we'll see the summary section of 5.1 to 5.6. Niskama Karma is equal to but easier than renouncing work. So, in sloka number 1 to 3, Arjuna again asks Krishna whether renunciation is superior to working in devotion. Krishna replies that devotional work is superior to the renunciation of work, and that one who is detached from the result of his work is the one who is truly renounced. What Krishna is suggesting, never ever renounce your work. Work in devotion. So what you have to give up? You have to give up the desire of fruits of action. Okay, so you have to detach from that. If you are detached from that, the work in devotion is easier than renouncing of work. Then point 4 to 6, sloka number 4 to 6. Although the results of renunciation and devotional service are ultimately the same, devotional service is superior for the devotee. Devotional service is superior for the devotee. For the devotee can quickly achieve Krishna. So those who are performing devotional service is easier than renouncing work. Renouncing of work is not that much easier. It is actually difficult. Because we all have got stomach. So we have to feed our stomach. We have to perform some material activity. So what Lord Krishna is saying, you cannot renounce from work. It is not that much easy. If you can do it, it's okay, but it is very, very difficult. But if you perform work in devotion, that is easier. So Lord Krishna is suggesting something which is practical. Lord Krishna never suggests which is impractical. So, of Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, verse number 1. We will see verse number 1. What is the doubt of Arjuna, and then what is in the next verse we will see what is the answer of Krishna. 5.1. Arjuna uvacha sannyasam karmanam Krishna punaryogam cha sansasi yachreya etayorekam tanme bruhi sunishitam. Arjuna said, O Krishna, first of all you ask me to renounce work, and then again you recommend work with devotion. Now will you kindly tell me definitely which of the two is more beneficial? O Krishna, O Lord Krishna, O Supreme Lord, first you tell me that renouncing of work, then you tell me work in devotion. So Krishna, I am confused. I am the surrendered soul unto you now. So please remove my doubts, remove my confusion, that whether work in devotion is better or renouncing of work is better. So, chapter 5 talks about work in devotion, work in devotional service. So, Arjuna asks, what is better, more beneficial, work or renunciation? Whether I should renounce and go to the forest and chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra there, meditate on Krishna, meditate on Supreme Lord, unto the lotus feet of Krishna, or I should be here and work in devotion. Okay, so work in devotional service is better than dry mental speculation. Okay, so Krishna is saying that work in devotional service is far, far better than dry mental speculation. So, work in devotional service is a transcendental knowledge. Work in devotional service is a transcendental knowledge. Work in devotional service can only be performed by transcendental knowledge. The one who has transcendental knowledge can perform devotional service, and it frees one from reaction. Devotional service frees one from reaction. No sinful reaction will touch you, and it is easier than dry speculation. In dry speculation, you may be bewildered. There are chances of bewildering. But if you are performing devotional service, if you are performing the process of devotional service, there are so many stages in performing devotional service. But even if you are at stage 1, 2, you are at the right path. At some day you will go to the step 3, step 4, step 5, and you will be 100% devotional service. So it is easier. There are no chances of falling down. But if you are in dry speculation, dry mental speculation, there are chances of falling down. It is very dangerous. Okay. Then in chapter 2, Lord Krishna, chapter 2 talks about, explains preliminary knowledge of soul and its entanglement in the material body. Okay, so what is the soul? What is the body? So body is covering soul. So body is the cover of soul. Body is protecting soul. Although no one can kill soul, and soul cannot kill anyone. So soul never kills anyone, and soul cannot be killed by anyone. Okay, so chapter 2 talks about preliminary knowledge of soul and its entanglement in the material body. So how to get out of this? By buddhi yoga or devotional service. So how you can get out of the entanglement, of this kind of entanglement? By buddhi yoga, by devotional service. If you are following the devotional service, even if you are by mistake, you are performing some sinful activity, that activity, that sinful reaction will never touch you. It doesn't mean that by one hand you perform devotional service, another hand you start performing sinful activity. No, it is not allowed. Okay, so even if you by mistake you perform some sinful activity, sinful reaction will not touch you. Okay. Then in chapter 3, it talks about person who is situated on the platform of knowledge no longer has any duties to perform. So chapter 3 talks about the one who has knowledge, the one who is on the platform of knowledge. Now what is knowledge? What is knowledge? Knowledge about absolute truth. That absolute truth is the supreme controller. And the entire worldly nature, the entire spiritual world, the entire material world belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Aham sarvasya prabhavo, mattah sarvam pravartate. So Lord Krishna is saying, everything belongs to me. Then what is the thing that you are proud of? Nothing belongs to you. Everything belongs to me. Everything by manifest and unmanifest by me. It is manifested by me and it is unmanifested into me, finally. So what is the thing that you are proud of? Nothing belongs to you. So what you have to do, what is our duty? We have to work to fulfill the desire of Krishna. We have to work according to Krishna. That's what Krishna is trying to explain Arjuna. Oh Arjuna, you don't think. Whatever I am ordering you, instructing you, you just follow that. You are not killing your kinsmen. Actually, you are not killing me. I have already killed them. Now you just become my nimitta matram. You are my devotee. Oh Arjuna, I want to give you credit. My pure devotees give credit to me and I give credit to them. This is the job I do. So Lord Krishna is explaining, oh Arjuna, I have already killed them. Actually, you are not killing them. They are already dead. So don't take any pressure, any tension, any headache of killing them, your kinsmen. I have already killed them. You just get up and armed with yoga and fight. So this is the order is given by Lord Krishna to Arjuna. So person who is situated on the platform of knowledge no longer has any duties to perform. Okay, so the one who is in absolute knowledge, who knows about the absolute truth, he has no duty to perform. Then chapter 4 talks about all kinds of sacrificial work culminate in knowledge. Even if you perform one sacrifice, it culminates in knowledge. That knowledge is known as transcendental knowledge. So if you have transcendental knowledge, it means never ever any doubt will come into you. The one who has doubt, they have demon inside. And that demon will kill one day. Will finish, will destroy everything. All hopes. No hope. If the doubt is there, so doubt is more dangerous. Never ever doubt on Krishna. Never ever doubt on devotees. Never ever doubt on devotional service. Never ever doubt on deities. Never ever doubt on pious activity. Those who are performing pious activity, have faith. Even if you cannot perform, have faith. Support those who are doing it. Slowly, slowly it will purify you and you will start doing the same thing. So in this way we can purify our life. That is very important. That is very important. So all kinds of sacrificial work culminate in knowledge. So even if you perform a small amount of sacrifice, somewhere it will be there in your mind, in your heart, in your body, that you have performed sacrifice. So by that sacrifice will give you a right knowledge, and using that right knowledge, you will be liberated. Slowly, slowly, point 1, point 2, point 3, it will increase, and it will purify your entire body, your entire mind, your entire heart. Your soul will be purified, because then your soul can merge with super soul. Soul can understand super soul. Atma can understand Paramatma. Okay. However, at the end of the 4th chapter, the Lord advised Arjuna to wake up and fight. So being situated in perfect knowledge, now Lord Krishna is saying, I have given you transcendental knowledge. Now you have a very big weapon. Now you use that weapon to kill your doubt. Stand and fight. Armed with yoga and fight. Lord Krishna is saying, armed with yoga. Yoga means have faith on me. Yoga, attaching to Krishna. So this is so Lord Krishna has confused by simultaneously stressing the importance of both work in devotion and inaction in knowledge. So if you have action, if you have knowledge and you are not performing pious activity, it is as good as you don't have. You don't possess the knowledge. You are not eligible to have that particular knowledge. So if you have knowledge, perform devotional service. Have faith on absolute truth. Kill your all demons inside with this transcendental knowledge and start performing devotional service. If you perform devotional service, common people will follow you. Okay, so renunciation in knowledge involves cessation of all kinds of work performed as sense activities. Work and renunciation appears to be incompatible to Arjuna at this point of time. Okay, so this is the Arjuna's understanding. Lacks by what? Work in full knowledge. Devotional service is non-reactive and is therefore same as inaction. Okay, so if I am performing with transcendental knowledge, so Arjuna is thinking renunciation is good. Why to kill all these persons? For my benefit. After killing them, I am going to get the kingdom, I will enjoy. But how will I enjoy if my family members are not there? To whom I will share my enjoyment? So this is the doubt. This is the demon inside you. So Krishna has given transcendental knowledge in chapter 4. So Krishna is saying, oh Arjuna, I have given you transcendental knowledge. Now armed with yoga and fight. So what you have to do? Using that transcendental knowledge, kill your doubt in the form of demon. And stand with yoga. Stand with yoga means what? You have trust on me. You have keep faith on me. Whatever sinful activity you are going to perform, sinful reaction will not touch you. So that is the guarantee given by Krishna. Armed with yoga, stand and fight. You have faith on me, you do your activity, you do your karma. No sinful reaction will touch you. This is the summum and bonum of chapter 4. Then verse number 2. Karma Yoga, action in Krishna consciousness, verse number 2. So renunciation of work and work in devotion, both good for liberation. But devotional service is better than renunciation. Okay, so if you don't have transcendental knowledge and you are renouncing work, it is very, very dangerous. So Krishna is telling that if you don't have knowledge, and what is the knowledge? Knowledge, jnana about absolute truth is knowledge. Knowing absolute truth is knowledge, is the only knowledge. Otherwise, you have demon, you have pride inside you, and that these are in the form of demon, will destroy your life. So you have faith on Krishna. If you have faith on Krishna, this is the transcendental knowledge. It means you know who Krishna is, who is supreme controller. Whatever activity happening in this entire planet, including material world, spiritual world, is by the will of Krishna. Okay. So verse number 2, 5.2. Sri Bhagavan uvacha sannyasa karma yogascha nishreyas karavubho tayostu karma sannyasat karma yoga visishyate. The personality of Godhead replied, the renunciation of work and work in devotion are both good for liberation. Both of the two, work in devotional service is better than renunciation of work. So Lord Krishna is saying that work in devotion is better than renouncing work. It is very, very difficult to renounce work. Even if you go to renounce your work and go to the forest, sit there and meditate on Krishna, your mind will divert. Because you have, by so many lives, in so many species, 84 lakh species, 84 million species are there. You have spent in so many species of 84 million, in so many birth and death. It is very difficult to come out of that nature, because it is a nature. It is a nature. If you take a dog, it has a nature. If you take an animal, it has a nature. If you take a particular bird, they have a nature. If you take a particular human, they have a nature. In human itself, we have so many kinds of human. It is not like we are the only human. There are different kinds of humans. Even Chandals are there also human. Okay, so we have got nature. The one who has got Chandal's nature, they have nature. One day they think that I will go to forest and I will meditate on Krishna there, because if I am in the material world, I am Chandal. I cannot do the work. I cannot concentrate on Krishna. Okay, so even without getting the transcendental knowledge, without knowing about the absolute truth, even a Chandals go to forest. How can a Chandal can live his nature? So by nature, so it becomes a dry speculation. Dry mental speculation. So dry mental speculation will not liberate you, will never ever liberate you. Okay, so in verse number 2, it is said that Krishna is explaining that both are good, work in devotion and renunciation of work, both are good. But devotional service is easier than renunciation. Okay, so what are the different paths of actions? Fruitive action and action in Krishna consciousness. So if you are acting in Krishna consciousness, you don't desire the fruits of action. But if you are in material life, you are hankering behind the sense enjoyment. So fruitive actions binds one in cycle of birth and death. Fruitive action binds one in the cycle of birth and death. Okay, so if you are working just to have some benefit out of it, okay, so it causes the cycle of birth and death. So to act for sense gratification, not good, since fruitive acts cause material bondage and transmigration. Each body is temporary, miserable. Temporary and miserable. So this body is temporary, this body is not permanent. Soul is eternal. Soul never takes birth and death, doesn't affect. So birth and death is for body only. For soul and super soul, they are both eternal. Super soul is eternal, and soul is part and parcel of Krishna, part and parcel of super soul. So if super soul is eternal, the part of super soul will also be eternal. So that's why soul is eternal. So failure of life if no inquiry about real identity. So we have to understand the real identity. Who I am, what for I am here in this material world, what is my activity, what should I do, what is my prime service, how can I avoid myself from the material hankering, why this life has become miserable. There are so many questions. Ask question yourself. And Jnaninas Tattvadarshinaha, associate with Guru, Sadhu and Shastra, spiritual master. Render service unto them. Render service unto them and perform devotional service. So this devotional service can save you from hankering of the material world. Okay? And so if you are performing fruitive action, so these are the possibilities that you will be running behind the material sense enjoyment. And if you are performing actions in Krishna consciousness, that is called karma, that is called karma yoga. What is karma yoga? Work in devotion. What is work in devotion? Performing activity without desiring fruits of action. So devotional service or action in Krishna consciousness is the only way to get rid of material bondage or come out of cycle of birth and death. Okay? So there is very beautiful verse in Srimad Bhagavatam 5.5.4 to 6. नूनं प्रमत्तः कुरुते विकर्म यद इंद्रिय प्रतया आपनोति ना साधु मन्ये यत आत्मनोयम् असन अपि क्लेशद आसदेह पराभवस तवद अबोध जातो यावन्ना जिज्ञासत आत्मतत्त्वं यावत् क्रियास तावद इदं मनोवै कर्मात्मकं येन शरीर बंधः एवं मनः कर्मवशं प्रयुङ्क्ते अविद्यात्मनि उपधीयमाने प्रीतिरिना यावन्मयि वासुदेवे नामुच्यते देहयोगेन तावत्. So people are mad after sense gratification, and they do not know that this present body, which is full of miseries, is a result of one's fruitive activities in the past. Although this body is temporary, it is always giving one trouble in many ways. Therefore, to act for sense gratification is not good. You are suffering, then also you are go on performing the activity. So even if you are suffering from the sufferings, then also we keep on performing. So one is considered to be a failure in life as long as he makes no inquiry about his real identity. So you have to understand your real identity. What is your real identity? What for you are here? So as long as he does not know his real identity, he has to work for fruitive results, for sense gratification. And as long as one is engrossed in the consciousness of sense gratification, one has to transmigrate from one body to another. Although the mind may be engrossed in fruitive activities and influenced by ignorance, one must develop a love for devotional service to Vasudeva. Only then can one have the opportunity to get out of the bondage of material existence. So what you have to do? You have to keep faith on Krishna. So only this faith will develop the transcendental knowledge, and using that transcendental knowledge you can kill all your doubts in the form of demon. So what is the only solution for material hankering? Develop love for devotional service to Vasudeva. So action in full knowledge strengthens one's advancement in real knowledge. So if you have knowledge, start getting knowledge about the absolute truth, and start getting and identifying yourself. What is your identity? So mere renunciation of fruitive action about Krishna consciousness does not purify the heart. Okay, start getting the transcendental knowledge. Start getting the knowledge about Supreme Lord, Lord Krishna. Surrender unto the lotus feet of Krishna. So path of renunciation of actions, sannyasa, both are good for liberation. Jnana of spiritual identity. Dry speculation, renounce actions. So that is known as renouncing actions. Dry speculation means what? You are not performing any activity and you are just trying to concentrate on Krishna. So there are chances of falling down. Dry speculation is very dangerous, because as long as you are concentrating on Krishna, it is good, but our mind is very much, it has got very high speed. Now it is here, at the other moment it will be somewhere in London. Okay, so reaching physically to London is time consuming, but mind automatically just wanders here and there within a second. Okay, so dry speculation, that's why Srila Prabhupada is saying, Krishna is saying that dry speculation is very dangerous. So one may think that action causes bondage, therefore renounce action altogether. If I perform activity, it causes bondage, so I will not perform any activity, I will go to forest. So this is also, and I will do dry mental speculation, that is also dangerous. Okay, so unknown of fact that jnana of spiritual identity or dry renunciation is not sufficient for liberation. One must act on the level of spiritual soul. Okay, so only mere jnana that if I perform activity, it will cause me the bondage, so I will not perform activity, I will renounce my work and go to forest. So you have to work on the spiritual soul, that it is like Atma and Paramatma ka milan. So you have to work on the basis of spirit soul. Rupa Goswami says on renunciation, Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.256, Prapanchikataya buddhaya harisambandhi vastuna mumukshubhi parityago vairagyam falgu kathayate. When persons eager to achieve liberation renounce things related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking them to be material, their renunciation is called incomplete. So if you are performing in a devotional service, please be there, stick to your activity, stick to devotional service. One day it will cause liberation. But if you renounce work itself and go to the dry mental speculation, that is very dangerous. There are chances of 99% getting fall down because of our mind bewilderment. So mind always bewilders us. So what is incomplete renunciation? Okay, so in Sanskrit it is known as Falgu Vairagya. Incomplete renunciation means Falgu Vairagya. Renounce things related to Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking them material with desire for liberation. Renounce things related to Supreme Personality of Godhead. So what you will think? If I perform activity, I will get entangled. Better not to perform activity, go to forest. To renounce things related to Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking them material with desire for liberation is very dangerous. 101% you will fall down one day. So, performing devotional service is required. Do chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra every morning at least, whatever time you get, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour, 1 hour, 2 hours, whatever time you get. Once you rise in the morning, do chanting and be away from 4 regulative principles. Follow the 4 regulative principles. What are those? Illicit sex, no intoxication, no meat eating, no gambling. These are the 4 rules you have to follow. 4 rules, 16 rounds of chanting. If you cannot initially go for 16 rounds of chanting, you can start from 1 round, 2 round, 4 round, 6 round, and you can slowly you can increase till 16 rounds. So Prabhupada is so merciful. He has given concession that you chant only for 16 rounds. There are acharyas, they have suggested go for 32 rounds, 64 rounds minimum. But Srila Prabhupada has taken guarantee. He is so merciful about his devotees, his disciples. He has given us a concession that at least chant 16 rounds. And I am giving you guarantees, I will take you to the Vaikuntha. Golok Vrindavan Dham. So what is complete renunciation? Yukta Vairagya. Everything belongs to Supreme Lord Krishna. Yukta Vairagya. So if you are performing devotional service, you think that it is all bogus. So this is known as, and I will go to forest and go for the dry mental speculation. So this is known as Falgu Vairagya. What is Yukta Vairagya? If you think that everything belongs to Krishna, whatever I have, I will use it for Krishna's service. Whatever belongs to me, it is actually belongs to Krishna. So this thinking is known as Yukta Vairagya. This is known as complete renunciation. This is known as work in devotion. So understanding Yukta Vairagya and Falgu Vairagya. So Yukta Vairagya is appropriate renunciation. Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2.55. Anasaktasya visayan yatharaham upayunjatah nirbandha Krishna sambandhe yuktam vairagyam uchyate. So when one is not attached to anything, but at the same time accept everything in relation to Krishna, one is rightly situated above possessiveness. So not accepting anything is not renunciation. Accepting it, but it is for Krishna. Use it for Krishna's service. That is Yukta Vairagya. So what is principle of Yukta? It is told in Bhagavad Gita 6.15. Yuktahara viharasya cha viharasya yukta chetasya karmashu yukta swapna abodhasya yoga bhavati dukhaha. So he who is regulated in his habits of eating, sleeping, recreation and work can mitigate all material pains by practicing the yoga system. So what you have to do? You have to regulate everything. It is not practical to say that don't get married. No, it is not practical. It is impractical. Okay. So what you have to do? You have to follow the Varnashrama system. For that purpose, Krishna has given us Varnashrama system. Follow the Varnashrama system. Okay. So there are 4 Varnas: Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. 4 ashramas: Brahmachari, Grihastha, Vanaprastha, Sannyasi. So these are the total 8. 4 Varna and 4 ashrama. Okay. So this is given by Krishna. You can live in the material life, you can follow these Varnashrama system and you will be liberated. So Lord Chaitanya instructs Srila Rupa Goswami at Daswamekh Ghat. Then what is the Falgu Vairagya? Improper renunciation, also known as Markat Vairagya or Smasan Vairagya. In Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu 1.2. Prapanchikataya buddhaya harisambandhi vastuna mumukshuvi parityago vairagyam falgu kathayate. So when persons eager to achieve liberation renounce things related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, thinking them to be material, their renunciation is called incomplete. So you stop doing devotional service, you think that these are all material things. That is Falgu Vairagya. So Srila Prabhupada explains Falgu Vairagya. River Falgu, dry sandy river bed, finds water beneath. Similarly, a Falgu Vairagya appears renounced, but underneath in his heart he nurtures the huge desire to become God. That is called Phalgu Vairagya. If you try to become God, that is the part of Phalgu Vairagya. Sri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur explains, monkey's renunciation not living naked in forest. One cannot be renounced until distasteful with material activity. So if you are going to forest but you are attached to the material activity, oh, I want to eat jalebi, I want to eat samosa. So even if you are sitting in forest, if you are thinking about it, it is as good as you come in material life and have it, enjoy it. So that is called dry in mental speculation. That is part of Phalgu Vairagya. Smasan Vairagya, renunciation, feelings in crematorium, returns home, again engages in sense enjoyment. So, Susk Vairagya, dry renunciation, told in Chaitanya Chaitamrit Madhya Leela 23.105. Principles of renunciation are applied without consideration of time, place and circumstances. Okay. So, this is all about verse number 1 and 2. So, we will see verse number 3 next time. We will stop over here. If you have any question, you can ask. Okay, no questions. So, we will stop over here. Hare Krishna. श्रीमद् भगवद गीता की जय, श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय। वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः।